To the SHAC Shack, safe, happy and creative. Stay home and craft. It's Thursday here in England, so I'm guessing that it's Thursday most places. Welcome. And I'm hoping that Paul is in the building and he can tell me possibly that the sound is good. It's been a couple of days since we got together. I've missed you guys. Is anybody there apart from me so that we can get started? We've got a new project today. I thought we'd do some colouring because I need to calm down. Now, did I just hear the camera go off? Let me see. Let me just check the cameras. Let's see if they're working. Yeah, that's good. Hello, everybody. Yeah, all the cameras are on. I'm good. Something just clicked off. Oh, can you see me? Good morning. It's Thursday in Scotland. Well, I'm glad to hear it. Is it Thursday in Oxford too? Happy days. Sometimes I don't know what day it is. I was up here all day yesterday, getting ready for television tomorrow, doing my prep, and yeah, time flew away with me. I was still here at 10 o'clock in the evening. That's when you know you love your work. when you start at 7 in the morning and you're still there at 10 in the evening. Hello. Yes, good morning. Glasgow, Redditch, Scunthorpe. And it's sunny and glorious in Scunthorpe. I'm glad to hear it. It's sunny and glorious in Crowborough too, my love. We've really got some gorgeous weather at the moment here in England, haven't we? What about in Wales, Linda? It's a standing joke with Linda Williams and myself. Whenever I ask her, what's the weather like there? It's raining. Raining. I thought it's nice, isn't it? That's how to press that button. So come on in. Good morning, and Paul, all the way, and all the other love. Ken, good morning, love. Yes, so here we are again. It's been a week, and it feels like it too. It's been so busy. I said to Paul this morning, we seem to get busier and busier and less effective. Starting to spiral, aren't we, Paul? Yeah. It just feels like our time is getting gobbled up working, but it's becoming less and less effective. I don't know what's going on. But there you go. Just for 1 hour, we're going to pump the brakes and do a little bit of yoga for the mind. Slow down, calm down. Hey, park all the anxiety. Good morning, Greg. I've got the glasses on where I can see, but the messages are flying up. So if I don't say hello, it's not because I don't love you. Jill, isn't it lovely? Morning, Pat. Yeah, it's lovely to see our friends all hanging out together. Marion, grüß dich, liebe Marion. Yeah, so what are we going to do today? Well, I tell you what, while you go and I thought we'd do some colouring because I've been so busy and there's so much going on. I've got to calm down, slow down, and I haven't had time to prepare anything like a feast, like a doodle feast. I've got an idea for a doodle feast down the road a little bit, but I need the hours to plan. I need the hours to plan it. So I thought we'd go right back because most of you have got these. I know you have because we've sold lots of them. Do you remember the Feathered Friends postcards? Because I was looking at them and I thought, I wonder if our friends think, well, she sold them to us and then we never even looked at the red pack. Do you remember these? Do you remember those? This is my way of calming my head, just colouring in. So I thought, yes, that's what we're going to do. Have you got these? Go on, say yes. Feathered Friends. These are glorious. They're postcards, aren't they? See, we've used most of them. We've done most of them. Look, see? That one, I know we've done it. Look, voila. We've coloured that one in. See, most of my stuff is at the business at the moment, at Clarity Towers, because we were having a bit of a rehaul. And then the blue one, what have we got in the blue one? Mind you, I've got that one. I know we've done that. I know we've done the toucans. I know we've done the eagles. See? My memory serves me well. I know we've done the garden birds and the kingfisher. Remember the kingfisher? We certainly did the kingfisher because we used mica powders, didn't we, in the colouring process. We've got the hummingbirds. So that was a black background. Yeah. See, so we've done loads of them, but we never even looked at the red pack. So I thought, I know why, because it's mostly Christmas in the red pack. But I dug around in the red pack, had a little rummage, and there's actually one in there that's quite lovely and already doodled for us. So I thought, well, that'll be an easy one. Let's have a look. See, in this one, got the robin, got the doves. There it is. See the psychedelic birds? That's the one I fancy. So I thought that's a really good. Got peacocks, and then we've got. I remember drawing these larches and those leaves in the colouring book. Got flamingos and parrots. I'm sure we've done. I don't think we've done the flamingo. Well, we haven't done them because we haven't done any of this lot. So that's the one I want to go to. How's that sound? Can you work with me? Can you work with me? Have you got your colouring pencils? So we need colouring pencils. We need a picture to colour in. We need a cup of tea. Got to have a cup of tea. And I shall endeavour to guide you around this picture postcard. And we'll just slow down. I'll let you get your bits and pieces and then we'll get started. It's all about colour and it's all about colourways. And also, this is a bit of a puzzle because when you actually look at it, let's go in a bit closer. It's like, well, what's what? See, look, it's like, well, what's what on here? Yeah. So we've got a bird here and we've got a bird here, but they're kind of camouflaged. Look, there's another bird here. There's a bird. And we've got daffs, loads of daffodils, which I thought that would be appropriate. Then we've got some roses or peonies up there. It's quite abstract, isn't it? But when you look at it, you've got to kind of isolate the areas. And that's what we're going to do today. So we're going to, and I'm telling you now, mates, when you do that, when you start to isolate and look more closely at a piece of artwork, especially something quite busy like this, it really is a perfect distraction. So it doesn't matter what's going on, you see, in my life, in your life, in the world, just for an hour, we're just going to park the thinking, okay? And we're just going to concentrate on what's a daffodil, what's a bird, and what's a rose, and what's a leaf, and what's the sky. And what you'll find is, if you're anxious or worried, and my goodness, I understand if you are, I really do, right? If you're anxious or worried or fretting, then just treat this as therapy. It's just the way that we in the shack just park our worries, park our thinking, park our thoughts, and just put it in neutral, put the whole brain in neutral for a bit and concentrate on something pleasant, neutral, not worrying. Okay, not worrying. Is that okay? Paul's in the building with you. I've got some bits and pieces I want to show you. Have you got your postcards ready? Shall we get started? Hey, shall we? Let's have a look. I was thinking, right, I need my sharpener for sure. And I do love that blue. This blue is the, it's lovely, sky blue. I'm going to hang on to that one. And then I'm going to use my polychromos just because they're so lovely. You can use any pencils you've got. Any pencils you got. Don't be thinking that just because you haven't got the master, you know, what I consider to be the best in the world, the polychromos. Just because I think that, that's just an opinion. Opinions are like noses. Everybody's got one. I do think they are the Rolls Royce though. However, not everybody wants to drive a Rolls Royce. And if you've got other pencils, other colouring pencils, it's fine. It's whatever it is. And if you haven't got this picture, find another picture. And if you haven't got another picture, well, then do you know what? Just relax and hang out with us. And that's fine too. Okay? It's fine too. You don't have to be alone. Yesterday, I was alone all day up here working, but it was fine because I was doing art. I was making art the whole day, getting ready for the TV. We went up to London on Saturday, and we went to the theatre in the evening. It was a right old bit of culture. But in the afternoon, we went to the Hayward Gallery, which is near the South Bank on the Thames. And there was an exhibition by a lady, an artist called Louise Bourgeois. And she's an elderly lady, textiles, printing, very, very interesting stuff. And one of the posters in the exhibition, it said creativity. No, was it? Or was it creativity? I should have written it down. Typical this is. Creativity or art, I can't remember. I'll have to look it up. Guarantees sanity. I thought, yeah, I'll go with that. I'll go with that. And I do think that. I think that creativity or art is the making of things. You know, it just keeps you sane. And yesterday, I was in a really good place all day in here. You know, doing my prep for the TV, to the point where I was until 10 o'clock at night. You know, which says everything. I didn't want to stop. You know, Dave's gone off to Holland to get the Pergamano machinery that we've been trying to. It's not easy getting to Holland in a commercial vehicle at the moment. You know, import, export. Since Brexit, things have changed massively, and so we can finally go and get the machinery that we need to make the tools for the Pergamano company. It's been 1.5 years. So he's driving now somewhere between the Hook of Holland and the south of Holland. So I hope that he's doing okay. But because he wasn't around yesterday, because he took off to go to Harwich, I was on my own with the cats, and I thought, well, I'm going to make the most of that. I'm just going to make art. And I was thinking about doing pottery, but I got so caught up with the jelly plates that's where I got stuck. And I was loving it. And I've made a wedge of prints that would blow the doors off. But it was so fun. So fun. And that's for tomorrow's TV shows. Come on, let's get started, and we can carry on gassing while we talk, while we do art. So I'm going to stay in this area here. So the first thing I need is my right glasses. Let's have a look. So because what I want to do first is take a yellow. Any yellow. Do I want to go with the sort of warm yellows? I'm going to go with a light yellow. Yeah? A light yellow. Almost a cream. Do you know there you go. Light cadmium yellow. And then I've got a cream. So I'm going to start with the lightest colour. Cream. That'll do. Because I tell you why. And you'll think, well, what's the point? You can't even see it. That's the point. You can't even see it. But you can. And what we're going to do is single out the daffodils before we do anything else. I think that the way to handle or tackle this picture, look, we're going to take, look, isn't that beautiful? Block print. That's what we're talking about, friends. That's what we're doing tomorrow on the telly. I love them. So cool. Let's take a piece of paper. I've got them everywhere. Right. We're going to light circular motions like that. Okay. And we're going to look at the artwork, and we're going to single out just lightly. We can go in and do the shading and the depth afterwards. But I think with this picture, this is stare at it, decide. So you don't want to go in heavy with a dark colour. You just want to isolate. Let's do the daffodils first, because there's quite a few of them. Have a look. And what you'll find is when you start doing this, see, you've got to look at it logically. So this is a daffodil, obviously. Right, that's a daffodil, that's a daffodil. Right, so I've got the first daffodil. I think that's a bit of daffodil there. That's a bird feather there. I think this is a daffodil down here. And I think that's a daffodil there. So that's a daffodilly. I think this is as well. I think this one, it either belongs to this daff or that daff. Narcissi. Right, let's have a look. This is definitely one. So you just do light. It's not. See, what's this then? Well, I think it's got to be a daff. When in doubt, make it a narcissus. Right, so that's a daffodil. Here's one up here. Here we go, see? Yeah, so we went up to London and we, what a wonderful day. The weather was glorious. The weather was beautiful. And yeah, it was something else, really. It was, the city was alive, you know, and I was so glad for it, really, because it's really been struggling. But all the restaurants and the bars and Borough Market, and I mean, we stayed south. We stayed south of the river. We did walk across to St Paul's Cathedral. We did walk across to St Paul's Cathedral, and in fact, we walked up to the top of St Paul's Cathedral, which is quite a climb. But what a view when you get to the top! 1, 2, 3. Here's another one here, and yeah, so we did venture across the walking bridge. We did that, and then we walked up to St Paul's, but we crossed back over again. We didn't take the underground. The strikes and the protests and what have you, it's just like, oh, I can't be doing with it. So I didn't. Right, there's a daffodil here as well. So you might have to go back in and revisit, but let's just get them in the main. Let's get them in the right place, shall we? Can you see this all right? Or have I used such a light colour that you can't even see what we're doing? I think you can. I think you understand what I'm doing here, don't you? We're just isolating and highlighting. So this is a daff. Yeah, but the city was banging. It was really vibrant, and you know, we sat outside the theatre for an hour in the sunshine before the play, and then watched the world go by, talked to people, you know, people were chatty, and that was just a lovely, friendly vibe. It really was. Now, is that a bird? Is that the bird or is that don't know. Not sure. This is a daff. What's this? That looks like a daff. That's a daff. Yeah, it was beautiful. I really enjoyed it. And then in the evening, we went to the National Theatre, and we watched The Corn is Green, Emlyn Williams, and it was with Nicola Walker, great actress. And it was a really good play, but it wasn't, you know, it's one of those plays where in the interval, in the intermission, everybody was in the foyer going, it's not quite what I expected. It was one of those ones. It was, you know, one of those no props plays, like a thinking play, where you really had to use your imagination. So up until the intermission, there were no props. Okay, so if and there was a narrator, and it was very clever, and it was synchronized with sound. And I like that kind of play. I've seen a lot of Shakespeare plays like that, where there are no props and you just have to use your imagination. But what was fascinating, right? So everybody was a little bit dubious, and there were some, you know, people not giving it a chance, like being quite negative about it. And I thought, well, actually, I think it's not over yet, and also the story was pretty powerful. And I think that we're so used to watching television and being given everything. We're given everything. We're given the dimensions, we're given the color, we're given the movement, we're given the characters, we don't have to think about it. It's just delivered, isn't it? It's just given to us on a plate. So to actually sit in a theatre and have a play read to you, really, was what was happening. It was great. For me, it was like, I loved it. But there was a little bit of, you could hear people like, it's that emperor in his clothes. People don't know whether to say the truth or say what they think, because they think that they might look at, it's like going to an art gallery and there's a pile of bricks and everybody goes, wow. And then there's a little kid in the corner going, Mum, it's a pile of bricks, And so there was a little bit of that at the theatre, because it wasn't what people expected. But I really felt that there was a lot more going on than what met the eye. And it was amazing. And then what was really interesting was, in the second half, suddenly the stage came alive, and there were props, and it was a room, and there was a sofa, and there were, it was there. And it was quite, I thought it was very clever, because you'd had to imagine it in the first half, and in the second half it was given to you, and it made you realize that you'd had to switch it up a bit in the first half. And what was quite comforting was that exactly what they delivered us, what they read to us in the first half, was exactly what we got in the second half, except it was like watching on the telly again, that everything was there for us. That was great. So it was one of those plays that I thought about a lot afterwards. Like, what was the point of that, and why had they done it, and what was the symbolism behind this and that in the play? I won't tell you everything. What I will say is it's well worth watching. I would go again, because I think I would get even more out of it the second time. Yeah, it was quite powerful. It was socio-politically loaded. It was all about women. It was about the barrier between the English and the Welsh. It was really, it was quite something. But it was one of those plays that you had to watch it or read it. I ought to read it, really, and then think about it, and then go back and think about it some more. I've been thinking about it all week, and great acting as well. Had to be great actors, because they had no props. Yeah. So there you go. That was what we did on Saturday night. And then we got back on the train at 11 o'clock, back to Tunbridge Wells. Actually, we went to Tunbridge. Yeah, so we came home with all the party goers, and there were a few that were worse for wear, because it was the FA semi-final at Wembley. So so we caught them going up to the match, and then we caught them coming back as well, and they were a lot worse for wear coming home than they were going up. God blimey. I think Liverpool won, did they? Anyway, there was a Scouse. There was obviously a Liverpool supporter on the on the train. Cool, blimey, and he knew all the words to the songs. Yeah, it's great. And that was the thing in this play as well. Whenever it was the Welsh contingency, right? Because you had the snobbish Brits, and then you had the Welsh. And as soon as the Welsh people started speaking, there was a lot spoken in Welsh as well. This beautiful music, this choir of Welsh miners. I mean, they were actors that could sing, and they were dressed like miners, but you had this beautiful, melodious, it was just gorgeous. And they were always in the wings, and sometimes they'd come in through the public. It was one of those sort of plays. Yeah, see, brilliant, brilliant actually. So there we are. Daffodils. We've isolated the daffodils. I'm cool with that. Everybody here, let's have a look. Let me just take a break for a minute. Yeah, good. All good. We are losing our ability to think for ourselves. I think that's what I mean. You know, that's why I mean, it takes an effort to go up to the theatre, and it costs a lot of money. I mean, blimey, the tickets cost a fortune, but they were a gift from my brother and Sheila for Christmas. So, you know, it was one of the theatre tokens. That was great. But yeah, you know, it's one of those things, isn't it? You know, worth taxing the mind, I think. That's it, isn't it? Right, so we've got the daffodil. Let's have a look at the roses. Now, what are we going to do with them? Are we going to make those, should we go pinky or should we stick to yellows and oranges? You see, I'm tempted to kind of go with, what about a nice pink? You pick your colour. I'll pick my colour. I'm going to go with a really, really light pink. Should I go with that pink to colour it in? Or shall I go with that? Oh, do you know what? I've got a better idea. Here we go. Back in that box, you know the set of 12, the greys and the neutral colours. Let's go with they call it beige red. That's it. It's a really, really light colour. So if we do that, this will help us single out the roses. Let's do that next. Yeah. Let's single out the roses. When was the last time you went to the theatre? Or to a play or a musical? Right, that's a rose. Where else is one? I know that this is one. I'm going to start from the inside and work my way out on these. When was the last time you went? What's this here? Oh, that's definitely got to be a rose. See, the thing is, if we don't colour it in right, it's so busy nobody's ever going to notice anyway. I think that's a rose. Around the outside. I think that could be a rose. We'll make it a rose. I'll tell you what. Sod it. I'm going to make all that a rose. I bet it's not supposed to be, but it is now. Oh, another rose. Yeah. I remember going to Hamilton in America, in New York with Grace, and I remember paying for an inordinate amount, a mental amount of money for the tickets, like crazy, right? And I was thinking, really? A rap opera? You know? I don't think, but see, I know better than to judge before I've even seen something. So I thought, well, let's have a look, right? So I paid this stupid amount of money for these tickets in New York for Grace and me. It was a treat. And I tell you what, by the time it was over, I would have gladly paid again and got to the back of the queue to watch it again. And as soon as it came to England, the first thing I did was go and pay an inordinate amount of money to take Dave, because it was so good. And guess what I listened to in my car? Yeah, the music. I bought the CDs and I put them in the car, and they're on permanent on number 5 and number 6. And then I sing my heart out to to the rap opera. Nutter. Yeah, but it's so good. You see? Yeah. And so Hamilton, that was, I mean, it's quite a ritzy one, isn't it, Hamilton? But that was so good as well. That impressed me. Different, you see. Now let's have a look. So what have we got here? We've got a rose. We have a rose. We have a rose. I think that's a bit of a rose there. Don't you? What's that up there then? Well, the jury's out, so we're going to leave it. So we've got our roses there. Now it looks to me like the roses have got some stalks. Let's take another colour, a real neutral colour. Beige. We can always go back over that with green if we want to. Right, let's isolate, let's get the stalks. Right, so these are the flower stalks. There we go. So these are all the colours that are in that set of 12 actually. So this is a stalk, isn't it? So you've got to do this before you get started, otherwise you can't, how can you tell what's what? So this must be a stalk here. What's that there then? That's a leaf. That's a leaf and that's a leaf. Right, come on, let's get the leaves in. I'm going to do the leaves in and the stalks in this beigey colour. We can always rub it out afterwards once we've decided what's what. But you see, the thing is, when you do this, it requires concentration. It's like going to see a play with no props, or a rap opera. I mean, I didn't know what was going on. Do you know what? I think that's a stalk. But it was quite spectacular, Hamilton. Personally, that's what I think anyway. And like I say, opinions are like noses. Everyone's got one. Here we go. So that's a leaf and that's a leaf. This is definitely leafland, isn't it? I think that's a leaf. It's not the same leaf as the rose leaf, but it's certainly a leaf, huh? So we've got the leaves, got the there. Are we ready to do the birds? Yeah. Oh, hang on, there's more leafery up here. So these ones, let's just do these as well. Do we need a different? No, we don't need a different colour. That'll do. Just gives us a rough idea of where we're headed. So yeah, so last night I've got out of here at 10 o'clock. I had to because my thumb was killing me. Oh, my thumb. Pulled so many gel press prints. I kid you not. Right, you ready for this? Okay, I'll tell you what I'll do. Oh, let's just take a break. Right, stop the train for a minute. Right, I'll show you this chest. I'm thinking, Mum. Right. Okay, so this is what's coming up on telly. Let me show you what's coming up. And again, it's that. So these are block prints. I drew them. The idea comes from, because I'm into lino cutting, and so I love wood print. And this is like block print. This is the same kind of thing. And when you look at them, you think, "Cool, blimey, they're." Let me see if I can show you. Let's come out a little bit so you can see them. There you go. Let's have a look. So you've got two square ones. I'll tell you why we put two in this. Well, you can buy them all individually, obviously, but we've got two square ones. And what they are is they're a positive and a negative. So they work on their own, but they work within one another as well. Brilliant, right? And then we've got a circle. Again, that sits in there, but they work independently. The triangles, same thing, positive and negative. So you've got the positive and the negative art. And then you've got the heart. And then we've got a happy birthday one. And we've got another one as well, but I can't find it. And it's a celebrate one with really beautiful backgrounds like this. Oh, and a little thank you one. So we've been working on these for months, these. And they're so addictive when you start working with them, because they just look so bold and block printy. So it's almost it's a sophisticated kind of stamp, but it's like a printing plate. It's so cool and so nice to use. So the other thing I wanted to show you was, if I show you a couple of bits of artwork. These are pieces of artwork from other design team members. So this is Jane Telford. See, so she's used the positive and the negative, and you can see you get like a drop shadow. I'll show you how to do that. And then that's one of the ones This is Linda Spencer, I think, yeah. And she's used all the little bits and made a grid. This is great. This is Andy's. And Andy Duggan, he's used the stamp look, and he's used our doodle idea from the Shack. But then you see in the background, there's a, you can see in the background, there's the stencil as well. So I want to show you that, because that is also on the show. Look, these are glorious, the stencils, right? So these are, and that's what happened last night. I got caught up with the stencils and the stamps on the gel press, and brilliant. But also, that's why we decided, where with the stamps, why we gave you 2 square ones, because I said, right, we need one that if you wanted to do paint and grunge paste and texture paste, you wouldn't be worried about using. So we said, right, so there's 1 squares for spare. You know, I mean, they're very different patterns. When you print them out, you'll see that. I mean, at this point, they all look the same. But I'm telling you, when you stamp them out, they look very, very different. So that's what's coming on tele, and these are, look, these, see, look, that's one of the square ones on a grungy background. That's Andy. Isn't that gorgeous? Look, so you can see. I mean, this is, yes, it's mixed media, but it's block printing. And then this one by Sarah, I love that. It's taking the little assets and elements from the little set and just making a nice, yeah. So, and then, so what I wanted to show you was what I got up to yesterday. This is only a little bit of it, right? So these are the prints that I was. So this is one part of a print. See, look, I really like that effect. Doesn't that look like block print? It just looks so cool. So check this out. So I just went for it, and I've got a whole box, look. And if you, it doesn't matter. Some of it's on copy paper, some of it, look at that. That looks like real proper batik. They're great. Hang on, let me get it out of the box so I can show you better. But they're so addictive. Look, see that one? See that one? That's got like 2 layers, but that one I ran through the machine as well. I ran through the die cutting machine, so I embossed the stencil. When you look at the different, see, I love it when it looks like that, where it's imperfect. See, so you get same color every time. I use the same color, and yet different generation of paint. This is all paint. This is paint. But it just looks so good, because then a little bit of the yellow blends in with the blue, and so it's not so true. Here's one. Look, what a lovely, look at that. Wouldn't that make a beautiful fabric? Hey? And then if you play it offside, just off at kilt. See, then I did backgrounds where you've got a real subtle, like a hint. But then what I'm going to do is, I'm not finished yet. When my thumb recovers, I'm going to put the stamps over the top of that. Look, this one's just a blot on copy paper. I went for it. Look, I just think they're amazing. And it was a combination, and that's my favorite one. Look at that. I mean, it just looks like, I mean, a lot of it. This is, again, right? It's funny how we do this. It's exactly like going to the National Theatre and standing in front of an empty play with a load of Welsh being spoken. You couldn't understand it, and then some Welsh miners coming in singing Welsh songs, and you think, blimey, if I paid 180 quid, you know, but you shush, right? Because you don't know, really. You don't know anything. That's how I felt. I don't know anything yet. And it's the same with this kind of thing. When you look at this and you think, no, I don't like that. It's like, well, hang on a minute. Give it a chance. Because when you actually stop to look at it, and you actually, well, it's not everybody's taste. Same as theatre's not everybody's taste, right? Same as not everybody likes beetroot. bet more people like sausage rolls and beetroot though. I happen to like both. But the point is, like, this is my favourite one, and I couldn't repeat it. In a month of Sundays, I could spend the rest of my life trying to pull prints, and I'd never be able to replicate this. And that, to me, is magic. You know, I wouldn't be able to repeat this. I could maybe get the right colours. I know what colours are used, but to be able to get like that detail and that feeling, that so bang in the middle, that heart triangle stencil, and then that border there, and I could never do it again. And so this one, I think I might frame it. I'm certainly not going to chop it up. See, a lot of these, I might chop them up. I might use that one like this on there. I might cut that piece out here and then put the darker one on top of it. I mean, I just like them as they come, you know. I'm addicted. So yeah, look, and that's a different colour coming through. I mean, it doesn't always work, but this is great backgrounds. Look, beautiful. Right, but I don't want to lose my best one. I don't want to lose my best one. No, I mustn't lose my... Yeah, so that's what I wanted to show you was what I've been preparing. But this is nice as well, actually. Let me show you. I'll just put it on a... But this is when you chop stuff up. See, I love that look as well. So it's a heart, obviously, look, like that. You can see where I've chopped it up. Yeah. So it's like, what would you do with a great big heart like that? Well, I know what I would do. Oh, no, that goes there like that. Look, that's there like that. And then that one goes like that. See, so now this has got these individual pieces like that. They are beautiful on as cards, you know, as pieces of cards with a message over the top. Or, yeah, I love them. See, individually, they get their own, they take on their own character now. So there's stuff like that. And then this is great. Look, this is a great print. I love it. But again, it's all cut up because as a whole, I found it too much. I didn't know, I thought, well, what am I going to do with that? There it is, look. But when you chop it up, the individual elements are beautiful. In my opinion, you know. So there we are. That's what we're looking at tomorrow. And I thought, right, the 9 o'clock show, I thought to myself, I said, right, 9 o'clock show, we're going to keep it simple and put the stamps through their paces and just figure out how to do overlays and all that stuff. And then the 1 o'clock show is Jelly Plate Day. Yeah, so if you're interested in mixed media and gel press and printing, and what is a gel press plate? It's a mono printing plate, but without the press, you know. It's a really great way to get creative, you know. Very, very good. So that's what we'll talk about tomorrow. Right, come on then. Let's carry on with our... So we've done the pink. I know this looks ridiculous because you think, well, hang on a minute, you haven't even started the... But it's all about isolating the bit. So I don't think we need to worry. The birds are pretty... To me, the birds are obvious, aren't they? I can see where the birds are. It's the other bits. It's the background bits. So let's have a look here. What have I done? I might need a rubber here, actually. Might have coloured in the wrong bit there. Not to worry. It's not important. What's important is that we slow down, we calm down, and we breathe. Let's start on the daffodils. Right, so if I use that yellow, see that creamy colour, if you go again with the same colour, it's not pressing harder, it's just adding a layer. It's all about the layers. Same as the artwork's all about the layers. See, so I could go in again now and add another generation. I quite like this creamy colour for a daff. Do you think it's a bit insipid? I don't know. You can always add another yellow over the top afterwards, but I'm actually happy to use the same colour again. top tip, right? On the back of the postcard, do this. Take a pencil. Takes a pencil, looks for a pencil. Where are my pencils? Here we go. Take a pencil and write 102 cream. Because in a minute, honestly, by next week, you'll be wondering what yellow you used. So any colours that you use, just write it on the back. You'll be glad you did. That's good for any artwork, really. Like I should have it cemented in my mind what paints I used yesterday, right? But I'm still going to write it on the back of those pieces because 6 months from now, when I want to do the same thing again, I want to get the same effect. I'm promising you I won't remember. Don't work like that, does it? What colour's the middle of a daffodil? Don't know. Right. See, the thing is, as well with this, it doesn't matter what we do. It doesn't matter what we do. I'll say that again slowly. It's just what's important is that we do something. Okay? That's the important part. And when you get with your hands and you get out of your head, and I don't know how many times I've got to say this, but it's so true. When you get out of your hands and you get out of your head and you get with your hands, you'll see it clears the mind. It so does. It so does. There you go. And all the time, circular motions like that, just circular. When we go in with the darker colours, don't worry, when we go in with the darker colours, we'll do a little bit more feathery work and stuff like that. But you see how now, because we've already got one layer of the yellow down, or the cream colour, it doesn't require any thought to find daffodils, does it? We've done it. We've already done the donkey work now. So now you can concentrate on the actual colouring. There we go. Round we go. Don't press hard. It's better to add depth of colour either with layers or with different darker colours. Yeah. Let's concentrate on the daffs. But it won't take long once you get going. Right. Let's take a darker colour then. Now we've added another generation of, if you like, of cream. So they're starting to come out now, aren't they? I love daffs. They're like a symbol, aren't they? When you see a daffodil, you think, yeah, the earth is coming alive again after the winter, isn't it? Don't you find? My mum always calls me, because she's German, she always calls me a little Märzbecher. Märzbecher. I'm sure I've told you this before. März is March, and Becher is beaker. So it makes total sense, doesn't it? Märzbecher. And because when I was born in March 13th, there were daffodils everywhere when I was born. So Mum always calls me a little Märzbecher. An old little Märzbecher, and not so little now. But I love the word. I think the word is lovely. March beaker, loosely translated. There you go. So we've got our Märzbecher. Go on, see if you can say it. März, März, like mare, like the female horse, mare, and then go tss, right, März, right, and then say like Becker, like the football player. Is there a football? What, Boris Becker? Boris Becker? Am I having a moment here? Boris Becker. He's a tennis player, isn't he? Boris Johnson, he's the Prime Minister. Boris Becker's the tennis player. Have I just had a moment? Tennis player, Boris Becker. Right, say Becker. And then when you get to the K, go like that. Becher. Merz, Becher. The Scottish should be good at it. Merz, Becher. All right, there you go. Now you speak German. You didn't know you could speak German as well, did you? Sehr gut, sehr gut. Right, next colour. Now this is where we have to decide. I'm going to go with that yellow now. That's a nice one. What's this one? Light cadmium yellow. Light cadmium yellow. But this time I'm putting the light cadmium yellow in the shadowy bit. So you see, here we go. See, so you can use either layer on layer on layer and it will get darker and darker and darker, or just go to a next tone down, which is a lot easier, isn't it? So again, we're going to go lightly like that. Here we go. And we're going around the fried egg bit in the middle. I'm sure there's a technical term for it. All right, here we go. Round we go. And that'll make the middle pop. See, it's already happening. And then what we'll do is we'll take those light colours, that darker colour now, and we'll just got one side of those pre-drawn folds. Yeah, see, it's working. There we are. Keep it simple. Always best to keep it simple. Don't overcomplicate things. That's why I like lino cutting and block printing and that, you know, because it's sort of a simple design, but it's powerful. Right, here we go. In here we go. So that's going to be darker because it's on the inside of the becher, the cup. And then we can come around here. So these leaves, these petals are going to be darker here, aren't they? There we are. Nice. Quite a right go with the cats today. So last night, because Dave's not here, right? So yesterday evening, one of the cats didn't come home. I thought, oh no. Okay. So one of the cats didn't come home. So I was out there at 12 o'clock, at 2 o'clock in the morning, looking, ding-ling-ling, come on. And I thought that I had Eric in the house. And hang on. Yeah, I thought I had Eric and Ragnar was the one that was missing. Yeah, that's what I thought. So I was standing in the garden. I thought I had Eric and I thought that Ragnar was outside. Come on, Ragnar. Come on, ling-ling-ling. Come on, time for bed. 2 o'clock. 2 o'clock in the morning. Ragnar. I just don't want to upset the neighbours. Come on, Ragnar. No, Ragnar. Right, 6 o'clock this morning, straight up, I thought, oh no, I've lost one of the cats. Dave leaves for one night and I've lost the cat. So then Eric, the one I had indoors, he decided he wanted to go out. Because they're identical, really, I can't tell. When they're together, you can tell which one's which, but when they're apart, you really can't. Honestly, you cannot, right? So then Eric left, then one came back in, and I thought, but are you Eric or are you Ragnar? Have you just popped out for a whiz and now you're back in again? Or are you the one that's been out all day? All night. So I don't know. So I was like, so then whoever came back, to my mind, it was Ragnar, you see, but I couldn't tell for sure. It was a right head game. This is at 6 in the morning. It's like, come on, cats, cut me some slack. And then, anyway, eventually, the other one turned up. And I was right. It was Ragnar that had been out all night. And it was Eric that had been at home like a good boy. And now Ragnar's dead to the world in the kitchen because he's been out all night. There you go. Look, this is looking good. So he's whacked now in the kitchen. Schlafy. And Eric's out. It's trouble with identical twin cats. You can't tell them apart. You can when they're together. You can tell that Eric's not quite as ginger. Not quite. But you have to really, just when you think you've figured out how to tell them apart, something changes again, you know? There was always a stripe on Ragnar's tail, and I thought, that's Ragnar. And then one morning, Eric had the same, his stripe, which had been a bit more faded, suddenly got brighter. So Paul reckons I've got to mutilate one of them, like chop a bit of one's ear off or one. I said, I don't know. There must be an easier way, you know? Maybe paint something on one's ear, like a red nail varnish or something. That might be an answer. But then in the end, it's like, does it matter? As long as they're both there. Dave can tell them apart better than I can. But Dave is in Holland. It's good, isn't it? Right, see, I like this. Subtle. Definitely subtle. That's my diplomatic way of saying can't see it. No. It ain't over until the fat lady sings. Remember, it ain't over until the fat lady sings. And I think that about a lot of things. I think that about a lot of things. You know, same with the theatre on Saturday night. It's like, hey, don't be too quick to give us your opinion, people, because it's not over yet. It's only halfway through. You know, one of those plays where after the intermission, several seats were empty. Yeah. And I thought, well, there you go, silly people. Because after the intermission, what they'd expected in the first half is what they got in the second half. But they couldn't be bothered to wait. I know. But there you go. Not my problem. Paid a lot of money for those seats. I was definitely going to stay till the end. You're kidding. Why would you leave halfway through? Why would you leave halfway through? You wouldn't even know what happened. It'd be a complete waste of energy. Right, that looks quite good. So we've got our yellow. We've added a little bit of depth there. Then we're going to take our yellow. We're going to put it on here. Because honestly, there's so many different yellows, you'll never know. 105. Let's write it down in our little. It's good practice, good practice. 105, like cadmium yellow. You'll be glad you did this. Trust me. Cadmium yellow. Right, there you go. And then we're going to take one more colour. Should we go another? Let's go another yellow down. So we've got that one, that one. I'm going to pick one more. Now, this is where you have to really think about, if I could find, no, that's too yellowy. I wonder if that would work. It's quite orange. What have we got here? Dark cadmium yellow. Well, that makes sense. Wow, look, they're both the same. I've got the same in the tin. Right, so there you go. There's your answer. That will work. Because if this is light cadmium yellow and this is dark cadmium yellow, my guess is that there's also a cadmium yellow, but I haven't got that. So now we're going, here we go, see? So they obviously blend together because they come from the same place. Hey, check it out. See how pretty that is now? See? Oh, ye of little faith. Right. So then you're going to go back over the same place as you did before, but tuck in and start adding the depth now. See? With this one. So this is behind. So this is where you start to deal with layers, isn't it? Yeah. Now there's something else. Before we call it a day for today, we'll do this again on Monday. Is that okay? We'll build this up. It's all about the layers. There you go. See how pretty it's getting now. Yeah, because I was thinking about like the road ahead for us shackers, you know, and we've got, let's see, we've got the doodles, we've got loads of doodle like opportunities, haven't we? Which when I'm better prepared, that's what we'll do. We've got the colouring postcards, we've got them. We've got the woodland creatures, we've got that, and we've got the Marina Fedotova postcards. So we're good on postcards, we're good on doodles, we've got the pens, we've got the pencils. I tell you what I wanted to show you though. Right, two things. Let's put that to one side because otherwise we're going to run out of time here. Right, first of all, Ukraine. We've raised thousands and thousands of pounds. You buy the stamps, we send all profit goes to the Red Cross. Then you send us cards, blank cards, and we send them out. Put a £5 in the envelope, put a £10 in the envelope, or 20. We've even put now, I think we've even raised a link so that you can donate. Even if you don't want to make cards, you can donate through our website to the Red Cross. You can. It's a Ukraine appeal. Paul will give you the link, and then 100% of that money goes straight to there are no, you know, it goes straight to the source. Right. So that's the first thing. And then I was thinking, right, so that's the address to send. You buy the stamps. Okay. Yeah, we've created products on the website so that people can just donate. But if you buy the stamps, we send you the beautiful stamps, all money after profit. Then you can make cards, which you can pop a £5 or a £10 or a 20, whatever you can afford. We've raised thousands now. Well, you and we have raised thousands this way. And it's not finished. There are piles of envelopes are coming in, and we open the envelopes. There are beautiful cards that we can send to Lewis and Lewis for Ukraine. And then we've got money which we donate straight to the Red Cross. So the £5s and the £10s come out of the envelopes. We've got a right old production line going at work. It's great. It's so great. We're such a giving nation. So that's that. And then I was thinking, right, what would be really lovely, arty, right? Do you remember on telly, maybe you didn't see these, we've got these wonderful birds. Do you remember these? These fantastic birds. This is my Ukraine bird. And I thought these would be beautiful to doodle, like for us in the shack, you know, because we've got the shapes. Dave makes them on the big Heidelberg press, doesn't he? And I'll show you how they come. But I thought it'd be a great way so that we know what we're doing on our doodle bus, right? It helps clarity as well, because that's a clarity product. And now I'm just going to show you some white card. But what you'll see is, you see, there are the stands. They come like this. Or you don't have to buy they come with beautiful stamps, but you don't have to buy the stamps. All you need is a refill pack. And that way you get the stands, right? That's them. And then they pop out, and then the birds pop out as well, like that. Okay, so they come out of here like that. And you've got 3 different sizes. So that's how that works. So you've got 3 different size blank birds, and then you've got 3, see, little, large, medium. Right, see, and they just pop out. Dave is responsible for all of this. Beautiful, the way they come out. Look. And then the way it works is they're all scored, pre-scored. So we decorate them, we can doodle them together, can't we, in the shack? And then you just, once you've doodled them, I doodle them flat, and then you just open them up, look. And then you write your message on the inside. See? So this is a really lovely, I thought it would be a fantastic thing for us to do. Look, there it is. Make art, not war. Isn't that lovely? So we could do this together, and I could show you how to make these beautiful backgrounds. I mean, if you're not a stamper, well, if you bought the Ukraine sunflowers, then probably you are a stamper. If you need inks, then probably a little box like this. We're running out, but we've got still some left. But these little boxes, these taster boxes of loads of inks, they're great because you get 12 in a box, and you've got so many different colors. You know, that works really well. So that's something that I just wanted to flag up, that I thought be a really nice. I love making these, and whenever you show them to anybody, they're really impressed. And of course, the thing is that you can send them flat. You flat pack it when you send it, you know. So I thought it'd just be a nice thing to do. We could make Ukraine ones, but we could also just make beautiful doodle birds. Doodle birds. Hey, doodle birds from the shack. There you go. So that's it, my friends. And as far as what we're doing on Monday, well, we've used 3 color yellows. I'm going to finish off my daffodils with the 3 colors. Yeah. And then on Monday, we'll do the birds and we'll do the roses. It's not going to take long. You watch. I reckon we'll have this done by Thursday next week, completion, right? So it works. Light, medium, dark. Layer, layer, layer. Okay. And then we'll have a look. We'll see. I'll have more time. Okay. So I think that was everything I wanted to tell you. I wanted to tell you about the 3D birds. I wanted to tell you about Ukraine Drive because it's really, really powerful. We're doing so well. Aren't we lucky, really, that we're here? You know, aren't we lucky that we get to hang out together and colour and be safe, you know? So there you go. Told you about the cat. Got lost, came back. Told you about Dave in Holland. Hopefully he'll have a safe trip with no problems. And tomorrow at 9 o'clock in the morning, so Paul and I are going up really early. I have to get up at 2 in the morning to get to the TV studios in time. But that's okay. And I shall be showcasing those beautiful block print stamps and stencils. I hope you love them. We've got loads to sell. Yeah, we've got a really good stock, so I'm optimistic about this. I think they're just wonderful. They're wonderful for front, they're wonderful for back, they're wonderful for partial art, they're wonderful for mixed media. They're just beautiful stamps, and so are the stencils. Anyway, that's all from me today. I hope that you have a lovely Thursday. Oh, and somebody asked me about my dad. He's doing great. He's doing really great. He's a miracle, that bloke. I don't know. He keeps going and going. And it starts to fade, and then all of a sudden, ding! He's back again, back in the room and smiling. It's great. I love him dearly, and I love my mum. So anyway, have a great day, and I shall see you on Monday. Take care. Bye-bye now.